So look at number 1. We treat these as two separate inequalities. The first inequality I have is a over 7 and the 0. Okay, so if I'm just looking at that one, how do I solve that one? Times by 7 on both sides. Okay, so we're going to say times 7 times 7. Okay, what is 0 times 7? 0. Okay, so this is my first one. Okay, we're not going to graph it yet. Okay, that's my first one. The second one is negative 3a and a 12. How do I solve that one? Divide by negative 3. Do I need to flip? Yes, I do, because it's negative 3. Wesley, focus. Okay, so if we're dealing with just this first one, okay, should that be open or closed? It should be closed on the 0. Okay, so go to the 0 and we're going to put a closed dot. Okay, and then again, if we're just doing this one, which way is my arrow going to go? To the right. Okay, and we're just going to do it a little bit until we figure out what's going with our picture. So just do like a little line going that way. Okay, now go to the negative 4. Is that going to be open or closed? Open on negative 4. Okay, and which way is this one going? To the left. Okay, so really what's happening, and so the reason I said just do a little bitty line, because you're going to have some that look like this, that are going in like this, or you're going to have some that are going outwards. Okay, and the dots may be open or closed, but that's the two pictures that we're going to be looking at. So are these going to be pointed out or in? Out. We see our little mini lines. And so you need to go through and like draw these out. Okay, so look at number 3. We're going to start with this m minus 6. How do I move that 6? Plus 6 on both sides. Okay, so we're going to say plus 6, plus 6. So it's going to look like m and a 0. Okay, and then what? Do the other one. What needs done for the other one? What? Why are you guys looking crazy at me? Oh, shoot. My bad. My bad. I was like, what? Why are you guys looking at me? But, okay, what about for the other one? Times 7 on both sides. So we're going to say times 7 times 7. Okay, so on the 6, is that going to be open or closed dot? Open. Going which way? To the right. What about on the 0? Open or closed? Open. Going which way? To the left. Okay, what do you notice about the or ones? They're going to the out. Okay, so what do you think an and probably looks like? Going in. Okay, so that gives you a good idea of what your picture should look like. Here's what I can tell you, and we're going to look at it with the and. Okay, I already know without doing any work, and this is really going to help some of you guys. I know without doing any work that my answer should be between negative 10 and 0. Okay, my pictures should be pointed in towards each other, and I should have 2 closed dots. Okay, how do I know I'm going to have 2 closed dots? Look at it. Yeah, there's 2 lines on it. So this one's going to be closed, and this one's going to be closed. No matter whether we flip or don't flip or whatever, the dot never changes. Okay, so without even doing anything, you kind of have a rough idea of what's going on with our stuff. Okay, so on 5, this very first one, we're going to times by 2. So it's going to look like n and a negative 8. And the second one is going to be add 1. So it's going to look like n and a 2. Okay, so on the negative 8, that's going to be closed. Okay, and we know, but again, you can still read it. Which way should that line be going? To the right. Okay, on the other end is going to be or closed. Going which way? To the left. Okay, see how these are both going in towards each other? Our picture really is going to look like this then. Closed, going in, to closed. Okay, that's what an and looks like, from one point to another. Okay, and although it's negative, if you pretend that it wasn't, okay, what it's saying is you have to be somewhere between 2 and 8 in order to go to Chuck E. Cheese. That's essentially what's happening. Okay, and so ands go in, ors go out. Okay, so again, number 7 is an and. I already know my picture should be pointed in. It should be between negative 5 and 10, and it should have 2 close dots without even doing anything else. Okay, and so if we look at 7, the very first one, what needs done for this first guy? What needs done? Move 9. So we're going to add 9. So I'm going to get V and a 7. What about for the second one? Move the 1. So we're going to say minus 1. So I'm going to get V and a negative 2. Okay, is this an and or an or problem? And, so should it be pointed in or out? In. Okay, so on the negatives, or on the 7, it's going to be closed. And the negative 2 is going to be closed. And they're going to be pointed in towards each other. Okay, number 9. What needs done to the first one? Move the 5. So we're going to say minus 5 from both sides. Okay, what about the second one? Minus 8. Okay, should this be pointed in or out? In, it's an and problem. Okay, so on the 7 is going to be closed, and that should be somewhere between the 6 and 8. And the negative 10 is going to be closed. Okay, 11. I got 4 minus 4b, and then a 32. So I'm going to write this one below, so I have some room. Okay, who's the kid? Who needs to move first? The 4. So we're going to say minus 4. So I'm going to get negative 4b. And a negative 36. Okay, and then what needs done? Divide by negative 4. Do we need to flip? Yes. Oops, I said yes and then I still forgot to do it. Okay, so our first one's done. Okay, the second one, who needs moved? First, -3, so we're gonna say +3. So I get 2b, and 2. Then what? Divide by 2. Do we need to flip? No. Okay, is this an and or an or? And, so should it be pointed in or out? In. Okay, this should be pointed in. On the 9, open or closed? Open. What about the 1? It's also open, okay? So we got 1 and 9, and it's pointed in. Okay, on this first one, what needs done first? Who's the kid? Who needs moved?
7.
The 7. We're going to -7 from both sides. So I got -3x. 18? Is that 18? Okay. And then what? Divide by -3. Do we need to flip? Yes. -6? Okay, we're gonna add 2. So I got 2x, -10. And then I'm going to divide by 2. Okay, on the -6, open or closed? Closed. What about the 5?
Open. Oh, yeah, open.
Okay, is this going to be pointed in or out? Out, because it's an or. Okay, if you get something and it's like this, one's here, and it's supposed to be pointed out, and your other dot is here, and it's supposed to be pointed out, that's no good. Okay, ors are very specifically set apart. Okay, and ands are going in. You're never gonna have something like overlap. Okay, so if they're overlapping like that, that's not something's wrong. Okay. I mean, it could just need erased and maybe it's an and, but it's definitely not gonna. Okay, we got 2 minus 2v. Okay, we're gonna minus 2 from both sides. So I get -2v and a 16. And then divide by -2. And I need to flip. Okay, we're gonna minus 2. So I got 6b and a negative 24. And then divide by 6. Okay, on the 8 is going to be open, and the 4 is going to be closed. Should they be pointed in or out? Out. Out, because it's an OR. Okay, you guys have 8 to do on your own. Go through